The Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks are back at the top of the Southland Conference, undefeated in league play. But Oral Roberts is just one game back, ready to pounce and earn a share of first place tonight in Tulsa. You're watching Southland Conference men's basketball on ESPN3. We're on the campus of Oral Roberts University in ice-cold Tulsa, Oklahoma tonight. Welcome inside the Mabee Center with former two-time Southwest Athletic Conference Basketball Coach of the Year, Jim Haller. I'm Lynn Rollins. Jim, not only will the Southland Conference have its eyes on this game, the eyes of the nation will be here too, because this Lumberjack team has one of the longest winning streaks in the country, 13 in a row.
Well, and Lynn, they're so good in all facets of the game, but believe me, they've got their hands full here tonight on the road against a very, very good Oral Roberts Ball Club.
Let's check in with our Southland status check. These are notes from around the league. Stephen F. Austin, of course, the only undefeated team in league play so far, but there are three other teams hot on their heels. And, of course, Abilene Christian with its first conference win coming against Central Arkansas.
Well, and then that last point, Nichols in the Battle of the Real Cajuns beat McNeese on Tuesday. So the Southland's shaping up to be a lot of fun again this year.
We're not even to the halfway point yet, and already this league has been extraordinarily competitive, and this is going to be one of those games. Let's go one-on-one. Thomas walked up first for Stephen F. Austin.
Well, he's one of the best role players in the country. Just a sophomore, he can literally do it all. He was the player of the week because he has floated for 27 earlier this year against Houston Baptist. He'll be a key in tonight's contest.
And oh, by the way, he shoots 52% from the floor. How about Shawn Glover, averaging nearly 21 points a game for Oral Roberts?
Now, Glover's the leading scorer in the Southland Conference, as you mentioned, but what gets my attention, he has been the leading scorer for this ball club, 15 consecutive outings. He will definitely be the focus of the Stephen F. Austin defense here tonight.
So tonight, will the Lumberjacks hold on to first place, or will Oral Roberts be part of the group at the top? We'll find out in a moment on ESPN3.
The Lumberjack Experience at SFA.
A quality education.
Personalized.
We work hard.
And take it easy.
Small classes. We know our professors.
And they care.
Beautiful campus.
Not too big and not too small.
Close to home, but not too close. Majors you want.
Some only offered here.
Winning sports.
Oh, yeah.
Discover the Lumberjack Experience.
Make no little plans here. It's a statement of people who think big. People who are easily frustrated with the status quo. People who want to change the world. Whatever it is that you're called to accomplish, know this. ORU is a place that inspires greatness. It's about the power of an idea, and it's about the power of change. So the only question is, what's your plan?
It's the countdown to Katy. Southland Conference basketball teams are fighting for a chance to play in the Merrill Center. A league title and a bid to the big dance will be on the line. The action begins March 12th. Visit southland.org/Katy or Ticketmaster.com and start your countdown to Katy.
Southland Conference basketball exclusively on ESPN3. Brought to you by Mid-South Bank, the official bank of the Southland Conference. It's time to love your bank. By State Farm. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think their car insurance costs more. But with discounts up to 40%, you may find it costs less. By Houston Methodist West Hospital, leading medicine. And by Jostens, the official championship ring provider of the Southland Conference. Jostens, the ring of champions.
Welcome back to the campus of Oral Roberts as we take a look at the State Farm starting lineups for each team. What a pivotal game this is tonight for the Lumberjacks out of Nacogdoches, Texas. Thomas Walkup, Nikola Gajic, Desmond Heyman, Trey Pinckney, and Jacob Parker. For Oral Roberts, Shawn Glover, the leading scorer in the conference, DJ Jackson, Corey Bilberry, Bobby Word, and Brandon Conley. Oral Roberts in the light gold uniform. Stephen F. Austin is in purple. The officials, the referee is Darren George, and the umpires are James Durham and Keith Kimball. With former Baylor coach Jim Haller, I'm Lynn Rollins. Welcome to ESPN3's coverage here in the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts.
Well, Lynn, this is going to be a dandy. I can assure you of that. Stephen F. Austin, a very, very disciplined team, run what I call an old-fashioned offense. Look at the high post man, Parker up top, creating things quickly. How about that break to the bucket for SFA to start tonight's action? Desmond Heyman, who's a preseason first-team all-conference selection.
He's a senior out of Pickens, Mississippi, averaging about 13.5 points a game. And on the cut to the basket, he scores the first layup. Heyman, by the way, had 36 against Cal State, and 30 of those came in the second half. So he's a guy who can turn on the microwave.
Well, I'd say the conference coaches in their preseason voting knew what they were talking about, because he's done a great job every second of the season so far. But he's just the second leading scorer for Stephen F. Austin behind Jacob Parker, the 6'6 junior, who is their leading scorer.
Bobby Word committed the offensive foul. And Stephen F. Austin back to the attack, and 2 layups have gone down. Gajic with the latest one.
Just love this offense. They leave the lower blocks open where people can cut and drive to the bucket, utilizing high post play. Great team basketball for SFA to start the game.
Stephen F. Austin leading 4-0 on layups by Heyman and Gajic out of Bosnia.
Well, a good block out by SFA here against ORU, who loves to attack the offensive glass.
Oral Roberts is a very athletic, quick jumping team. Stephen F. Austin off to a good start.
Stephen F. Austin is so well balanced. They'll screen away from the basketball, drawing the foul.
Here are the latest Southland Conference standings. Stephen F. Austin has a half-game lead in the loss column over Sam Houston, over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and over Oral Roberts. Nichols and McNeese are close by, and you see the rest of the league.
And we'll have a chance to see Sam Houston State on Saturday in the Southland TV network when they go out to Abilene Christian.
And remember, out of that field that you just looked at, 8 teams will make the conference tournament in Katy, Texas in March.
Yeah, what a great spectacle that always is, as we look at Brad Underwood, the first-year head coach at Stephen F. Austin, who's done such a fabulous job.
He took over for Rod Casper, who was there for a long time and had Stephen F. Austin certainly among the league leaders every year.
Scott Sutton in his 15th season as head coach at Oral Roberts. Had a chance to visit with his dad, legendary Eddie Sutton, before the game. Had a nice visit.
Word committed his second foul, and then Heyman works his way with a slick move down the lane and lays it in. 3 layups have gone down.
That's because this is such an unusual offensive attack, playing nothing but a high post, nobody low. Lots of driving and cutting lanes open to the hoop. Now Keith Kimball calling a foul away from the basketball now. One of the talented striped shirts here tonight.
That one's on Thomas Walkup, and that is his first. Bobby Word with 2 quick fouls.
Now
goes to the bench.
He's just a freshman, Lynn, so that's inexperience causing those quick fouls.
He's replaced by Jabbar Singleton, also a freshman out of New Orleans. Oral Roberts has one of the more cosmopolitan rosters in the league. They recruit from all over. They've got players from all over the country and out of country.
They do, but what they need to do is get the ball in the hand of this Texan right here, Shawn Glover, who's the leading scorer in the Southland Conference.
And he works hard for the offensive rebound. Glover, fade away, no. Put back, no. But a foul called, and that's going to send the hard-working Corey Bilberry to the free throw line.
Yeah, nice job on the offensive glass by ORU. You can see the determination here. Shawn Glover will get the first long rebound, the conference's leading scorer. Bilberry picks up the second. Now he'll have a chance to make the first free throw of the game.
And that was a foul on Gajic. That's his second. So the sophomore, or rather the senior from Bosnia, goes to the bench with 2 quick fouls.
Well, interesting for Stephen F. Austin, Lynn, they have started the same lineup all 18 games this season. That's very much a rarity in modern day basketball.
Bill Berry bags both free throws, 6-2. Stephen F. Austin leading in the early going, shooting 3 layups and making all of them. Heyman, drop step inside, loses the basketball, and it was off the leg of Desmond Heyman. That's the second turnover against SFA.
Well, it's quite obvious here in the early going that SFA wants to take the ball hard on the bounce to the basket. Heyman was trying to get there that time, but just got an unfortunate bounce off the leg.
The entry pass is poked away and stolen by Heyman. That's the 3rd turnover in the early going for the home team, which has yet to get a field goal on its own court. 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the battle.
Well, I just love to watch teams move well without the basketball in the early going. It looks like the Lumberjacks are doing just that.
And there is layup number 4.
Well, talking to Coach Scott Sutton yesterday, he said we've got to stop the backdoor cuts. This SFA team is so well drilled, they do it to perfection.
The feed from Jacob Parker, the layup by Thomas Walkup. 8-2. Stephen F. Austin has not missed a shot from the floor.
Well, they've gotten all great shots because of great movement without the ball. Their spacing is perfect.
Oral Roberts, on the other hand, has taken 4 shots and has failed to score. That loose ball rebound picked up by Glover, and he's on the move. The big fellow is very versatile, and it's taken out of his hands. Stolen by Walkup.
You know, how about that outstanding transition defense by Stephen F. Austin?
Back and forth we go with turnovers. Singleton.
And a lot of athleticism on the floor for both teams. They've got to find a way to get the ball to Shawn Glover, number 11.
He's a 6'7" senior from Dallas by way of Utah. And a held ball will give the possession to Oral Roberts. But first, we'll take a timeout. 15.5 remains in the first half. 8-2 SFA leads. We have played 4.5 minutes. Stephen F. Austin leads 8-2. Jim Haller, sometimes statistics are misleading, but this one is not. Stephen F. Austin has attempted 5 shots. It's got 4 layups to go down. The home team has attempted 5 shots, and nothing has found the bottom of the net.
Well, it's all about execution and freeing up your scores. Here they freed up Shawn Glover, who's the leading scorer in the Southland Conference. That's the first time we've seen him get an open look. Nice job coming out of that timeout for Oral Roberts.
Glover averaging nearly 21 points a game. And a reach-in foul will be called against Wilson.
I like what they just did, Lynn. They tried to double-team that handoff on the side to disrupt the tempo of the Lumberjacks. Step late getting there, but good idea.
Wilson commits his first foul. It just came off the bench, entering the game at the last timeout. He started his basketball career at Missouri State. He's a sophomore and a hometowner from Tulsa. 8-4, Stephen F. Austin out of Nacogdoches, Texas, leads Oral Roberts in Tulsa tonight.
Well, Stephen F. Austin's got those early 8 points, and Parker, their leading scorer, has yet to be one of the scorers.
Shot clock under 10. An open look for Heyman, and he banks it in as he falls down.
Come on, let's see if he's smiling. He's got to have a reaction to that. It's the end result that counts, partner.
Stephen F. Austin, 5 of 6 from the floor, and a traveling violation is called against Wilson. So he's come off the bench to commit a foul and also turn it over.
Well, you can see that tough half-court man-to-man defense of Stephen F. Austin. Brad Underwood done just a terrific job getting this team molded to play after taking over for Danny Casper, who had such great success at SFA for 14 years.
That's 5 turnovers in the early going for Oral Roberts. That's been a factor, and a sweet turnaround jump shot is good by Thomas. Walk up his second bucket.
Well, they just free themselves up for such good looks at the basket. Great movement, great spacing, great plan.
Singleton guarded very closely. Glover is double teamed down on the baseline. Let's see if he finds an open teammate. He does. Bill Berry from the other side for 3. Bang!
Well, that's a nice job of passing out of that double team to a wide open Bill Berry. Nice job by the Golden Eagles.
13-7. 13:46 remains in the first half.
Well, the home crowd wanting a push off there by SFA, but Heyman comes right back and knocks down the big outside shot.
This senior from Pickens, Mississippi, has started the game very hot. A couple of deuces and a couple of threes.
Lynn, that's why he was preseason first team All-Southland Conference, as Bill Berry scored 2 in a row for the Golden Eagles.
He's got 7 in the early going. He's been most of the offense for Oral Roberts.
We've got 2 preseason first team choices in this game tonight. Glover for ORU, Heyman for SFA. Parker for SFA was a second team preseason selection. Nice job by passing away from the defense.
The shot clock slides to 8. Follow shot won't go after the first miss. Walk-up works hard. Can't get the second offensive rebound to go down either.
Well, I just love this movement by Stephen F. Austin. There's so many cutters, so much action to the bucket. Very, very tough to defend.
Well, it's precise and it's well planned.
Very, very well stated, partner. Can see this is going to be a very physical ball game just by the way it started here in the first 7 minutes of action. This is a junior college transfer on the floor there for Stephen F. Austin now, number 30. Just made that pass, but how about that kick out? Deshaun Walker. He's a senior guard who's had some big moments. In fact, he was the player of the week in the Southland Conference a couple of weeks ago.
Well, he's got great firepower as a reserve. He has no starts, but he's averaging in double figures off the bench. Another layup by Stephen F. Austin. And this one by Dallas Cameron, the freshman from Pompano Beach, Florida. And on most of the trips down the floor, the Lumberjacks have cut up the ORU defense.
Well, they're just relentless in their attack. Their aggressiveness is outstanding, and they put so many good athletes on the floor with a plan. That is the key. You can see Stephen F. Austin coming down the floor in transition. Everybody runs the floor very well. That last basket, as you said, by the freshman, Dallas Cameron out of Pompano Beach, Florida.
Stephen F. Austin has scored 11 of the last 16 points in this game on an 11-5 run, and included in that output has been 3 triples.
Good look at the Stephen F. Austin bench there. Assistant Stephen Gentry giving out orders. He was an assistant on the staff at Texas A&M last year. Brad Underwood, the head coach for Stephen F., He came to the program after being an assistant coach for Frank Martin at Kansas State and the University of South Carolina.
Jordan Kaufman has checked into the game, a 7-foot sophomore from Andover, Kansas, and the turnover troubles continue.
Well, look at the quickness Stephen F. Austin puts on the floor and the defensive pressure they exert. A nice block out by Walkup to get the running game started once again.
He's only 6'4", but he did a good job of rebounding. He averages 5 a game.
You know, Dallas Cameron picking up that turnover for the Lumberjacks.
That's number 4. And we'll take a timeout with a 21-9 lead for Stephen F. Austin.
At Mid-South Bank, we're dedicated to providing loans that allow our customers to achieve their business and personal dreams. That's one promise you can bank on. We're not just business associates, we're neighbors. We're committed to our customers and the strength of our local economy. Here at Mid-South Bank, responsibility matters. With over 61 locations and still growing in Louisiana and Texas, discover how our customers are finding strength in numbers at Mid-South Bank.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact your local State Farm agent about a car loan that could save you hundreds.
21-9, Stephen F. Austin off to a very, very good start in Tulsa tonight. You know, Jim Haller, before the game, you were giving me your coach's scouting report from years and years and years of building offenses and assessing them. And, you know, I was a little bit skeptical. But after seeing Stephen F. Austin work its magic and get so many point-blank range shots, I'm starting to become a believer.
Yeah, I said this is an old-fashioned offense, running high post and cuts and movement away from it. It's a delight to see.
And they're not afraid to go 5, 6, 7 passes into the offense to make it happen. Right now, Oral Roberts on its own floor, shooting very poorly and trailing 21-9.
Well, Stephen F. Austin has hit 9 out of their 12 shots. Oral Roberts 3 out of 10, now 4 out of 11. Nice movement, good spacing that time for ORU. Nice offensive execution.
Bill Berry dropped it off to Bobby Word for the bucket, but Stephen F. Austin comes right back with the 3-ball.
Yeah, Deshaun Walker getting his second 3-ball of the night. Good job of finding the spot for the fella, 6-foot guard.
Jacob Parker, the leading scorer for Stephen F. Austin, pulls off that rebound. He has yet to find points. And the foul will put SFA at the free throw line. It will be Dallas Cameron shooting. Players separate.
I really like the looks of this freshman, Dallas Cameron, and number 12 just runs the floor so well. There we saw that last shot by Deshaun Walker, the 6-foot senior guard from Silver Springs, Maryland, by way of South Plains Junior College out in West Texas.
Bobby Word was called for the last foul, and that's his 3rd in the first half. He'll go to the bench probably for the rest of the half.
Well, Word, as I mentioned earlier, partner, is a freshman, and he's getting quite an education here tonight trying to defend this SFA offense. I would imagine as the season progresses, we're going to see more and more teams try to defend Stephen F. Austin with a zone defense. This offense is just too tough to match up with man-to-man.
Cameron goes to the bench after the free throws. 25-11. SFA leading by 14.
Well, SFA with 25 points already, and their leading scorer, Jacob Parker, has not even scored yet. Hadn't taken a shot, hadn't needed to.
A foul is now called on Stephen F. Austin, number 10, Trey Pinckney. That is his first.
Pinckney with a reach in. Foul, that's his first. Pinckney is a sophomore from Katy, Texas. And you know his family is hoping that this team will go there and do well again in the Southland Conference Tournament. He had lost to Northwestern State last year in a battle between the top two teams in the league during the regular season. Stephen F. Austin won the league's regular title. Northwestern pulled off the upset in a magnificent championship game. And Stephen F. Austin already has a win over Northwestern State this year in Nacogdoches, Texas, not long ago. Or excuse me, in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Yeah, and that was their last game. So they're coming off of a huge victory there where they won by, I believe, 16 points on the road at a tough place to play.
Kaufman is rejected by Tanner Clayton, a 6'9" junior from San Diego. Now Stephen F. Austin inserts Connor Brooks.
Well, I like the way Brad Underwood is keeping his troops fresh, playing a lot of players here in the early going. Of course, when you've got a 14-point advantage 10 minutes into the game, you can afford to be a little more liberal in your substitutions. Good look at Brad Underwood there, who's doing just a phenomenal job in his first year as the head man of the Lumberjack program.
Desmond Heyman committed the foul. That's his first, and the whistles have been frequent here in the first half.
Well, these striped shirts know this is going to be a very physical ball game, trying to keep it under control.
Bilberry misses. Kaufman with the putback. The big 7-footer was in the right place at the right time. The sophomore from Andover, Kansas, has his first bucket. He shoots 53% from the field.
Yeah, he's got a big body. They need to use his presence in there. Stop so much cutting down the paint. Now Oral Roberts. Let's see, I'm very interested in this. They've gone to a zone defense, anxious to see how SFA attacks it. Not a good shot that time by Heyman.
Bilberry on the move. He scores, and he'll go to the free throw line.
See what happens now. They go zone. SFA takes that quick, long shot. What happens? That gives ORU the chance to get their transition game going. This could be the spark they needed, getting it down the floor quickly. Not good transition D by Stephen F. Austin.
Pinckney committed the foul. That's his second. And Bilberry puts a lot of air under that free throw and scores off the front rim.
Well, that's 11 points, 10 points now for Bilberry in the game. By far the leading scorer for ORU. He has 10 of their 16.
Glover has one bucket. Kaufman has that putback bucket. And Word has a bucket. And that's been it other than Bilberry.
Or Roberts out coming back in that 2-3 zone defense. That's one way to stop so much of that dribble penetration by Stephen F. Austin. Nice job by Parker coming to meet that pass in the paint.
That may have been his first shot.
I believe it was.
The leading scorer with 15. Couple of three-ball opportunities. Deep rebound pulled off by DJ Jackson, the sophomore out of Kansas City.
Boy, that was good hands right there, Lynn. The big fella went up in traffic. You've got to like this big guy. Just a sophomore, big, strong, wide body.
Tanner Clayton committed the foul. It's his first.
7 foot, 255 pounds. He can take up a lot of space in there.
A 65% free throw shooter. He's got 3 off the bench, averaging 4.7 and 3 rebounds.
Brad Underwood is just saw him looking on concerned. Make this free throw. It's down to a 7-point ball game. And it is. That's cut that 14-point deficit in half rather quickly.
Jordan Kaufman did not start this game, but he has had 4 starts this year.
Well, this was good strategy by Coach Scott Sutton going to this zone. If you know the Sutton family, you know they don't like zone defenses. They love that man-to-man. That's what Eddie Sutton hung his hat on so great at Arkansas and Kentucky and Oklahoma State.
Oral Roberts has scored 7 consecutive points to cut a 14-point lead to 7.
I commend Scott Sutton for going to that zone. I think, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see more teams try that in their efforts to slow down this high-powered Stephen F. Austin attack.
And the rule interpretations and changes this year lend themselves to more zone defense as well.
Absolutely. Nice defensive rebound by Glover.
Let's see if Oral Roberts can make it 9 or 10 in a row. Glover rips the 3.
Boy, that's a nice secondary shot off of the break for ORU. Glover found his spot and drilled it.
Glover is a 6'7" muscle man, but he can shoot the 3. That was his 11th
of
the year.
Shooter. Yes, he's a very, very good shooter. Well, this looks like a rejuvenated Oral Roberts ball club here now in the last several minutes. Cut that 14-point deficit down to 4 real quick.
Glover committed the foul. That's his first. 25-21. Short jump shot. Misses a little bit long by Thomas Walkup. That was the shot Stephen F. Austin would prefer. And look at this slashing layup by DJ Jackson. His first bucket. And it's 25. It's 23. Stephen F. Austin had a 14-point lead in the course of 2 minutes. It has been cut to 2.
All that cutting's been done by going to zone defense and getting their transition game going. Right here, going hard to the basket. Beautiful job that time by DJ Jackson, the sophomore guard out of Kansas City, Missouri, making it happen for the Golden Eagles. Isn't it funny? Isn't it? I mean, it's just interesting. You change the look that your opponent sees. Stephen F. Austin has still not adjusted well to this zone defense, and it's certainly paying dividends for ORU.
Oral Roberts has scored 12 consecutive points.
And they've done it in varied ways, getting their running game going, forcing their opponent to start taking outside shots.
Oral Roberts has won 4 out of the last 5 games. The only setback was to Texas A&M Corpus Christi by 7. And a narrow win over UIW in its last game. Oral Roberts started the game 3 for 11 from the field. Since then, it's 5 for 8. Stephen F. Austin in purple. The lead is tenuous at 2. Shot clock at 6. Heyman gets the shot away and may have drawn the foul from Adrian Weber.
Well, Oral Roberts did everything they wanted to accomplish on that defensive stand, but fouled with 2 seconds to go on the shot clock. Not smart play.
It is Weber's first foul. We'll take a break. 25-23. Stephen F. Austin by 2. Stephen F. Austin 25, Oral Roberts 23. Not long ago, it was a 14-point lead for the Jacks. Let's look at Stephen F. Austin over the last 5 games. Of course, all winning, and that's part of a 13-game winning streak for Stephen F. Austin, which includes non-conference victories over North Texas, over James Madison, over Marshall, and several others.
Well, Stephen F. Austin started out so hot, hitting 9 of their first 12. Now they're 8 of 19. No, now they're 10 of 18. They've made 1 of their last 6 shots. Oral Roberts, on the other hand, they started 3 out of 10. Now they're 8 out of 19. So they've made 5 of their last 9. Stephen F. Austin, 1 of their last 6. That's the way to knock that 14-point deficit down rather quickly.
12 points in the first half for Desmond Heyman after the 2 free throws. The average is about 13.5. And SFA will trap now in front court. The team from Tulsa beats it easily and now will set up with 18 on the shot clock. Weber for 3, no. Big offensive rebound by Conley.
Boy, Conley skied for that, but he's reaching for his knee right now. Like he sprained it on that fantastic leap.
He was off balance and came down on one leg and perhaps jammed his knee.
Well, interesting maneuver now. Stephen F. Austin has gone to zone defense.
If it's good for you, it might be good for me. That's the Stephen F. Austin thinking right now. Off the window, it just would not go. Too high off the glass by Glover. And Stephen F. Austin survives a couple of attempts on that possession.
Now the conference's leading scorer missed an easy bank shot right there.
Parker, who has not been a factor offensively, takes it back and flushes it with 2 hands.
Yeah, but what was the key to that? Move without the basketball. He passed it to the high post, broke down the baseline for the easy layup.
That's his first bucket.
Well, the tough physical play continues as the bodies continue to hit the hardwood. Let's take a look at this last basket by Stephen F. Austin. Watch Parker now pass the ball to the high post. Then all he does is just break straight to the bucket, gets the return pass from Walkup. You can't have better give-and-go basketball than that. Nice old-fashioned play.
Walkup committed his second foul.
You know, 90% of the teams you see now are just running the pick and roll and this, all different kinds. This guy, this is just a master at running this high post, move without the ball offense. Very, very impressed. It's tough because teams don't see it to practice defending against it.
Conley, 70.7 at the free throw line this year, drops both of those. He's had 6 starts as Brandon Conley. 6:19 remains in an exciting first half on ESPN3.
Well, Gajic back on the floor now for Stephen F. Austin. He's one of their key starters who's been out because of foul trouble that he picked up quickly, too, in the early minutes of the game.
Oral Roberts remains in the zone. It has played zone for about the last 6 minutes with some dividends, and there is a pass intercepted by Jackson. That's turnover number 5.
You know, good discipline by Bilberry right there. He actually had a shot and passed it up to try to get a better one. When you're down by 4 on your home court, work to get the best shot possible.
Singleton uses a pick, dribbles to the elbow, but can't shoot as Parker came over to help defensively. Both teams in a zone right now. Glover from short range uses the left side of the window.
Well, Coach Brad Underwood said we have to take Glover away from his comfort shooting spots. They did not do that time. He popped right down there low and squared away and banked it well off the glass.
After a very slow start, the conference's leading scorer has 7. Pull-up jumper from a slot in the zone. Misses by Walker. Offensive rebound, Parker. Walker takes it inside, loses it into the hands of Conley. Turnover number 6.
Nice job in transition defense that time by Stephen F. Austin after the turnover.
Tanner Clayton will check in at the next whistle for Stephen F. Austin. Singleton. Conley. This for 3. Missed off the back iron by Bilberry. And a long rebound taken by Walker.
Yeah, what a great job of blocking out by the purple shirts that time. No gold shirt anywhere close.
Connor Brooks also will come back in at the next whistle for Stephen F. Austin. This for 3, a little bit long from the left side by Heyman. Glover out in front, takes the pass, and lays it in.
What nice job of running the floor by Glover, but an even better pass from Bilberry, looking up the floor to find his teammate wide open. Now it's a tie ball game after being down by 14.
And an 18-5 run is in progress for Oral Roberts. The ball was poked loose for a moment. Oral Roberts has never had the lead. Gajic working inside. It rolls out. Oral Roberts fortunate there not to give up the layup.
Yeah, tough break for Gajic. He had a nice shot, just did not get the finish.
Glover drops it down low for the big one-handed flush, and Oral Roberts is on top for the first time.
How about that pass from Glover to Conley? Great post-to-post work.
That's the first bucket for Conley tonight. A 6'6" jumping jack out of Fort Worth.
Well, can you believe a team can change image so quickly on the court? It doesn't even look like the same ball club that played the first 10 minutes of the night's game.
Against the zone, the Lumberjacks have had only 2 field goals in the last 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, there you go, another turnover on Stephen F. Austin. That's why I said I'd like to see a zone against Stephen F. Austin. Right there, they continued to try to penetrate, picking up the charge.
2:57 remains in the half. Oral Roberts is on a run and leads by 2.
.257 to go in the first half here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Oral Roberts men lead Stephen F. Austin 31-29. Chris Mykowski courtside at the Mabee Center. Coming up on the Mid-South Bank halftime report, we'll tell you some more about David Mason. He's gone from being team manager to being big man on campus, playing guard for this Golden Eagle basketball team. And I'll visit with Misty Cousin, head coach of the ORU women's team after their upset victory over the first place SFA Lady Jacks. And of course, first half highlights and stats. Lynn, I'm no meteorologist, but it is still freezing outside.
Yes, it is, Chris, but the action here has been red hot in the first half. And Shawn Glover, who came into this game averaging 20.8 points, got off to a slow start, has had 7 of his 9 in the Oral Roberts 18-5 run, and now making a 20-5 run.
Well, it may be cold outside, but the action in here is very, very hot. Both teams exerting lots of energy to play terrific Southland Conference basketball.
That's 12 points for Corey Bilberry in a variety of ways. 3 deuces, 3 free throws, and a triple.
Well, nice job getting the ball to Parker there in traffic. He found a way to get it to the rack and get fouled. This is SFA's leading scorer, He's a youngster from right here on the outskirts of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hails from Bixby, Oklahoma. Coach Scott Sutton told me yesterday that as much as he hates to admit it, this was probably a recruiting mistake when he didn't go hard for this youngster. Said Parker used to come to their summer camps every year and probably would have accepted a scholarship offer from ORU, but said it's just a credit to the young man how much he's improved and has become one of the real stars of Southland Conference basketball.
The 84% free throw shooter, bags 1 of 2. And just to illustrate that point a little bit, Jim, Jacob Parker had no double-doubles in his freshman year. He had no double-doubles in his sophomore year. He's got 6 this year, but let's get back to Oral Roberts now. Still attacking in the last 5 or 6 minutes, has been great offensively.
Well, how about this nice move to the basket? Just a nice strong move by DJ Jackson, continuing to make it happen for ORU. They've gone from 14 down to 5 up.
Walker committed the foul, and DJ Jackson completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. He's got 5, the sophomore from Kansas City. He's a good free throw shooter, 81.5%.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a 20-point swing in a basketball game any quicker than this one.
Stephen F. Austin led by 14 just a few minutes ago, and now trails by 6. The troubles continue, but Parker kept that one alive. He goes baseline, he spins, and he draws the foul. It's going to either be against Kaufman or Glover.
Well, you've got to like the aggressiveness of the big fella. Just a junior, really knows how to make it happen. Taking it tough there on the baseline.
The 7-footer Kaufman committed his 2nd foul. Parker 84% at the line. Puts a lot of air under it, but he's missed 2 and made only 1.
Well, this youngster was a second-team preseason all-conference selection by the coaches and media.
His best double-double this year was against Sam Houston when he had 28 points and 11 rebounds.
4 points now by Stephen F. Austin's leading scorer on the season. Looks funny out there, Parker, with his long hair. The last 2 years, he's actually had a burn haircut.
Parker knocked it loose. Glover retrieves it and makes Stephen F. Austin pay.
Well, that was nice play by Glover, taking it strong to the lane.
After a slow start, Shawn Glover has 11 first-half points.
Showing us why he has the versatility to be the league's leading scorer.
20 on the shot clock, 1:16 left in the game in the first half. Parker from the wing. Got it, and that's going to count for 3.
Boy, a beautiful pop out by Parker on the baseline to free himself. Let's see if that motivates this team now. They've got a minute to go in the first half.
Parker doesn't take a lot of threes, but when he shoots them, he's sensational. He's 50% from the floor from out court.
Well, he's got perfect form. How about this execution continuing for ORU? Nice knockdown on the perimeter.
That's Jabbar Singleton. That's the freshman from New Orleans, his first basket. Back to Parker for a moment. He's got 15 three-pointers. He has shot 30 of them on the year.
Well, that's phenomenal for a youngster his size that excels in the high post area, that can pop out and be comfortable on that kind of attempt.
There's about a 6-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pull-up jumper online, but bounces off the rim. Long, missed by Walker. Shot clock is of no consequence. Bill Berry lost the dribble as he split a couple of defenders. And that brings us to the end of the half. This Stephen F. Austin team led 25-11 with 11 minutes left in the first half. After that, Oral Roberts ripped off 30 points and allowed only 9. Hence the 41-34 lead at the break by Oral Roberts. Chris Bykowski will be back to anchor our halftime activities in a moment.
To go from washing the jerseys to now wearing the jerseys, I mean, it's just indescribable, the feeling.
Last season, D-Mace was given the
bump that. No, I've got it now. I had it, no, I had it on, and I asked him to count me down visually. And he gave me a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and after he got done, I went. Yeah, we can do that. Sure. It's either that or sell tickets, I guess. I'm going to leave Jostens for them because I'm going to butcher that kid from Bosnia's name. 2:30 maybe. Okay. That could have played us back with this. It's the Mid-South Bank halftime report on ESPN3. The Oral Roberts men trying to match the women and pull off an upset of first place Stephen F. Austin. Golden Eagles lead 41-34. Chris Mikoski courtside with you here at the Mabee Center. And earlier we told you a little bit about David Mason. Now, for most Division I student athletes, it's a matter of being elite, being highly recruited. But for some, it just works out being in the right place at the right time. For David, he was a student manager. And when ORU needed another player, he stepped up and showed what he could do.
To go from washing the jerseys to now wearing the jerseys, I mean, it's just indescribable, the feeling.
Last season, D-Mace was given the opportunity to practice with the team due to multiple injuries. While participating, he happened to catch the eye of Coach Scott Sutton.
You know, we had to use D-Mace a little bit the last few years in some drills, especially when we had some injuries. And, you know, he impressed me with his knowledge of the game. Because of all the hard work and how I care about him and what I think about him, and we allowed him to come out and be a walk-on, and he's done great.
After a short year at Jenks High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, D-Mace never really planned on playing college basketball. For him, this is all a dream come true.
It's a dream come true, honestly. You know, just even coming here to Oral Roberts to be a manager was already something that was so special to me.
Being a part of the team for 4 years has helped D-Mace build solid relationships with his now teammates. They don't see him as a manager, they now see him as an equal.
But D-Mace is, you know, he's competitive. You know, one of the biggest competitors I've been around. No matter what we're doing, we could be doing free throw shooting contest or 5-minute shooting. D-Mace wants to win. He's giving you his all. So, you know, once it was one of those things where he came in and gave us all, we just took on him as another player because he, you know, helped us out in practice or any little thing we can do. D-Mace gave us his flat out 100% effort.
Even though he won't play big minutes this season, D-Mace will be ready when the time comes, and he's excited about the possibility of Coach calling his name.
Well, I'm going to do the best I can, you know. Regardless of what happens, how, you know, if I play or don't play or whatever, I'm going to bring energy. You know, I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to be cheering for my teammates. I'm going to go hard in practice. You know, I'm going to try to make everyone better so that we're better as a team.
For the ORU Sports Report, I'm Parrish Purnell Jr.
Parrish, thanks very much. Coming up on Saturday, more college basketball in the Southland Conference here on ESPN3. It's a doubleheader from Abilene, Texas, and Moody Coliseum. Sam Houston State takes its first trip to ACU in league play. The women get started at 1 o'clock. The men scheduled to follow at approximately 3. Both those games right here on ESPN3. Only the top 8 eligible teams in the Southland Conference on the women's and men's side get to make the trip to Katy, Texas for Merrill Madness, March 12th through the 16th. Visit the ticket office of your favorite Southland Conference school or visit any Ticketmaster outlet, including Ticketmaster.com, and start your countdown to Katy. It's halftime here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oral Roberts leads Stephen F. Austin 41-34. It's ESPN3 and the Mid-South Bank halftime report. Men's basketball action in the Southland Conference. Oral Roberts looking to pull the upset. They lead first place Stephen F. Austin 41-34. Sounds very similar to what happened earlier tonight in women's basketball action as ORU upset first place SFA. Misty Cusson leads the Golden Eagle women. And Coach, everybody I've talked to around the Mabee Center tonight says that was far and away the best performance the Golden Eagles have had this year. I'm sure you'd agree.
Well, thank you. It's been a season of climbing a hill. You know, we had a really tough non-conference schedule, and our record isn't pretty to look at right now on paper, but, you know, I just continue to see such improvement. And Kaylin Mayberry was a bright spot for us tonight. We got her back in the starting lineup as a starting point guard, and that made Christian Key's life a lot easier, getting shots for us tonight. And that's a direct result of Kaylin just growing up and getting some maturity at this point.
You mentioned Christian Key, and as we check out the highlights, she is our Southland Strong player of the game, and I don't think that's any surprise, as she was the player we focused on at the beginning of the game too. You need her to step up. She did that last week in Abilene and in San Antonio, but the rest around her didn't really perform. But tonight, she just led a charge of a lot of people doing their job well.
She did. She's on a bit of a hot streak right now, and it's not unusual for her to shoot the ball as well as she is, but I thought one of the biggest differences for us tonight that we did not have last week is we had more of an inside presence offensively, and so we were able to share the ball a little bit more. Kaylin has been more of a scorer for us, but she distributed so well tonight, had 7 assists because we were able to share the load and take it off of Christian a little bit.
And you mentioned Kaylin, one of the stats that you might have to dig a little bit to see, but a season-high assist for Kaylin Mayberry with 7. Great performance, Coach. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you down the road. We'll see you in Nichols very soon, and then again in Katy if all goes well.
Great. Thanks so much. We're glad you guys are here in Tulsa tonight.
Thank you, Misty. Thanks. More coming up here on the Mid-South Bank Halftime Report.